buy it in the jugs.
Well, you can make it in a jug, Jason, but we're recording now, and I think you said that you have something to say to the people, so let's make it sound natural.
I do. I just want to share the sort of bullshit humiliation I have to deal with constantly in my life.
Okay.
All right. I got this in the mail today. I'm holding it up. It is a check. It is a check for $5, which you can't see, so just take my word for it. It is from, and it's an actual check. It is from the North American Senior Benefits LLC. Senior life insurance. So if I cash this $5 check, I'm sure it gets flagged, and I will never not get mail from them.
Well, how long is it good for?
I don't know. How long are checks usually good for?
90 days?
It doesn't. 180 days.
180 days.
I guess since this one's for seniors, maybe they gave them a little bit of grace period.
Well, I mean, they don't have the time. It's just opening up to
That's
fraud.
right. They're
when we were at our old call center job, the hardest it ever was for me not to talk back at someone was somebody who was really old was calling us, complaining about fucking mail, I think he usually was. And she was like, you know, I could do this all day. I'll ruin your life, like that sort of a thing. And I'm like, I'm already here. I can ruin my life. And then she's like, I'm old. I have nothing but time. And I didn't say anything, but I'm just thinking, isn't that like the one thing you don't have?
No, actually you don't.
You have a lot of, you've probably accumulated things. You know, I know it's been tough out there. I'm not trying to underestimate that. But I feel like time is the one that, you know, it's not, that one's finite.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. But also, like, I'm 50, dude. In what universe does that make me a senior? Like, I feel this, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, I'm never going to be able to retire.
Probably not.
Like, financially. You know, unless I get enough of these $5 checks. But it's going to take a shit ton more.
All right, all you need to, that's what I'm saying. If you could cash them over the course of 180 days, we need a scheme where we get a bunch, and then we just need, like, 40,000. We need 40,000. We need them to send you 40,000 $5 checks. You think you could do it?
Like maybe I'll just call them every day and be like,
I lost my $5 check.
I lost my $5 check. Can you send me another one? And then I'll just cash them all at once, close my account, and head south of the border.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Live large in Mexico with my $5 checks. No, for the I've been getting mail from the AARP since I was like 40 years old. Like, I don't know where they get like the information, but
do you technically need to be old to get an AARP card? Because I would use the discounts. Like, if I could get one now, I'll use the discounts.
I believe you have to be 55.
55. My dad could get one.
Yeah, you don't have to be old. 55 is not old. Like, no, you don't have to be old to get one. Yeah. But like when you're 43, well, I mean,
it's not young.
No, it's not young.
If somebody dies at 55, you're like, that's a little young, but you're not like, oh, he was just a kid, you know?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends. I don't know. I feel like 50s is I mean, it's 2025. Like, I think, you know, when I was a kid and I'd look at 50-year-olds, they looked old. They looked like they had a foot in the grave.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm like the most healthy person.
That's because there were too many open graves in your town.
That's
people were tripping all over the place.
Right. We had to keep talking to the town undertaker. Hey man, you gotta cover this shit up, buddy.
You're fucking up all these people's shoes.
Yeah. No, I feel like, it's 2025, so like 50s
is young to die, but it's not tragically young to die.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So like, it's not old. You're not on death's door.
Right.
But it's not like young. It's not like the prime of your life, you know?
Right. Well, yeah, but like just with advances in, I don't know, nutrition and what we know about health and the body, like 50-year-olds are not dropping dead of heart attacks like the way they used to, even when I was young. Like I said, when I was young, a 50-year-old looked like they were like the Grim Reaper was standing behind them.
Well, could bring it back.
I'm working on it.
So it's weird. But, like, you're saying that, but Jason, do you go to the doctor?
Yeah. Fairly regularly. Yeah. No, I've a couple times gone, maybe like I was supposed to go back after like 3 months and I waited 6 months.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it that often when you're older?
Like,
I only gotta go once a year.
I'm at the age where, there's like now I got to do like different tests.
Oh man.
And I do have some like genetic health conditions that I have to manage.
Yeah. Maple syrup urine disease.
Usually, that's right. It is.
Grew up Amish.
It smells great.
It's very painful.
Awesome. But yes, does not feel good at all.
What do you think would be worse, maple syrup urine or Mrs. Butterworth urine? Like the.
Oh man.
I feel like the Mrs. Butterworth doesn't crystallize, so that's like not as bad.
Right, but it also has to be refrigerated, which tells me that if it is not,
they both have to be refrigerated.
I thought real maple syrup.
Once you open maple syrup, it can mold. You got to refrigerate it.
Maybe I'm thinking of honey.
Honey, you don't have to refrigerate.
I don't know. I don't have syrup in my house.
I have syrup in my house.
On account of health.
Oh man.
being mindful of my health, I don't generally have maple syrup because I don't need that much sugar.
I be eating a lot of Trader Joe's microwave pancakes with Vermont maple syrup.
No, it sounds good as hell, but
it is good as hell.
But
sadly, you're denied the pleasures.
I am
the grand pleasures of youth.
Yeah.
And you know what, Jason?
Right.
When's the last time you had maple syrup? 2009?
I mean, I don't know, 4 months ago. It's not forever. I'm just not. It's just like Eggos used to be like a routine part of my breakfast diet, and now they're a sometimes treat.
If a doctor tells me I can't have Eggos or microwave pancakes or whatever on a weekly basis, I will kill that that doctor and his whole family and then kill myself.
Now, to be fair, they didn't specifically tell me I couldn't have Eggos. They just said like,
you can have an Eggo with butter.
Yeah, watch your sugar, watch cholesterol, watch salt. So all the good stuff.
Man, it's a lot of time staring at condiments. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're all done with this.
No,
this is not the medical corner. This is not the sweetener storage corner.
No.
This is not where we talk about what's your favorite Eggo flavor? You like a classic Eggo, buttermilk, you like chocolate chip, you like blueberry, you like strawberry, you like cinnamon sugar, you like the big and fluffy, the big and fluffy chocolate chip, you like the big and fluffy blueberry, you like the Toaster Delights French toast, you like the Microwave Delights mini pancakes, you like the Microwave Delights mini blueberry pancakes, you like the Microwave Delights mini chocolate pancakes. I was in a freezer aisle recently. That's my point, Jason.
Apparently, I have no idea that I didn't know. Chocolate chips too much for me. I don't like chocolate for breakfast.
Yeah. It's not for swears.
Original buttermilk or blueberry. I do like blueberry stuff. Yeah.
What you call it blueberry? You forget what blueberries are?
No, I know what blueberries are. I was stumbling over. I was so overwhelmed by your impressive command.
We live in a time
of the breakfast frozen food aisle. What do you call it? Toaster strudels. You know anything about those?
Toaster strudels?
Can you rattle off?
No, because what's the fucking point? You know what? All I have to say about
No,
toaster strudels is Pop-Tarts.
Too much
Those
work.
exist, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm having that sort of a thing, that's what I'm going to do. The idea that I would seek that sort of comfort in such a labor-intensive and decadent package is frankly denial of what's going on. If I want a fancier thing, guess what? There are some plenty fancy Pop-Tarts out there. I could get cookies and cream. I could get birthday cake. I could get strawberry frosted. I could get brown cinnamon sugar frosted. I could get Oreo frosted. I could get the Maple Eggo collaboration, which I think recently ended and wasn't very good in my opinion. I could get a blueberry frosted. That one kind of sucks. I could get boysenberry, dude. Mixed berry, whatever the fuck that purple one is.
Boysenberry's good. No,
I don't know if that's a flavor. I think it might be mixed berry. What is a boysenberry?
I think it's a type of berry out of the Pacific Northwest. And what is it? I think IHOP, the chain restaurant, I believe boysenberry syrup is like one of their kind of what they're known for.
Yeah,
it's on every table next to the maple. So they have both coasts, both northern coasts. It just occurred to me.
Wow, you learned something
now,
new.
IHOP I have not been to since 2009.
IHOP's also, I don't want, maybe IHOP will sponsor us one day. So IHOP, how we feel about you? Fork over a little of that pancake batter and we'll see.
That's right. I don't hate them. I didn't. I said it's been a while, but as opposed to like Denny's. Denny's sucks, but...
I don't hate either of them, but let's just say I could love them.
Right, for the right amount of...
For the right amount of money.
Right. Someone sends you a $5 checky poo.
$5. Someone sends me a coupon, dude, and I'm like, buy one, get one.
Right.
Rooty Tooty, fresh and fruity.
I will take a bullet for that franchise. Rooty Tooty, yeah. Moons over my hammy. That was one.
I like IHOP's coffee. I will say I like the IHOP coffee. They're always very quick on a refill. I have a younger brother who is autistic and nonverbal. He really likes IHOP, so I've gone there with him plenty of times. Very quick on a coffee refill at IHOP. As a, somebody, if I'm going to a diner, I'm having at least 3-4 cups of coffee. I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But let's move on.
This is kind of turned into a breakfast.
But now it's time to move on. Actually, let's talk cereals, Jason. What do you like? Do you like Corn Flakes? Do you like Frosted Flakes? Do you like Grape Nuts? Do you like Fiber One? Do you like Wheaties? Do you like shredded wheat? Do you like Frosted Mini Wheats? Do you like Strawberry Frosted Mini Wheats? Do you like Maple Brown Sugar Frosted Mini Wheats? Do you like the new glazed donut Frosted Flake? Do you like Apple Jacks? Do you like Fruit Loops? Do you like
Apple Jacks? Good.
Reese's? Fuck! I lost my goddamn chain. I forgot what the Reese's Puffs. Fuck! All right, let's actually do the show.
Yeah, let's move on.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary audience members. Forget them sometimes.
Yeah,
some of them served in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Welcome to Underworld News Tonight, where we bring you the weird, the wacky, and the wild news of the week. Now, ladies and gentlemen, next week there's not going to be a show. I'm getting my wisdom teeth out in 2 days. So I'm going to give myself a little time to recoup. I got to do it again second half of the month, but I'll probably just do the show that week. Jason's busy. Yeah. But Jason, something could happen to me during wisdom teeth surgery. What if they're taking my wisdom tooth out and they yank too hard and my head comes off?
It's a very real possibility.
It happens to a lot of people.
It does. Yeah, more than you'd think.
And the thing about a head, hard to reattach.
Yeah, once it's off, man, it's a bitch.
But I just want to reassure our listeners that if I don't just go under for this surgery, they're not even putting me under. It's a local anesthetic. I'm going to be awake the whole time.
Oh, boo. That sucks.
Dude, they don't give you the fun one anymore. But if I die a brutal decapitation during my wisdom teeth removal, Jason is ready to step in, step up, and take command of this podcast's nuclear weapons program.
That's right. I have the football. You sent me the briefcase.
I'll send you the crackers. Is that what it's called? The briefcase of crackers?
I have it right over, oh shit. I don't know where I put it, but it's around here.
The thing about that, so the briefcase, They say it's like, oh, the thing in the briefcase is crackers if the president gets hungry, is like the like official Secret Service thing apparently that they'll like tell people. I'd be more intimidated if I was sitting across from a fucking psychopath who had a briefcase full of fucking crackers. And just in case he got hungry, ate like a dry fucking water cracker.
Right. And conceivably could become hungry enough to justify a briefcase full of crackers.
If I was the president, I wouldn't even whip out the nukes. What I would do is I would open an entire tube of Ritz crackers, shove that shit all in my mouth at once, and just stare down any world leader. If you're not an American, you can't handle that.
That's right. Crumbs just cascading.
And listen, say what you will about our president. Say what you will about our president, but he's got some chubby cheeks. I think he could do it.
He could. Yeah.
I don't think Biden could have done that. I think that I don't think his mouth extends that far anymore. Obama, maybe. Bush definitely could have done it. Clinton, we know, could have done it.
Oh, yeah. I think Clinton did it just for fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, routinely, he was cramming a whole
Well, did you see how we said for fun
Ritz
at the
crackers.
Same time there, by the way? That was really cool. And it's like, because our period's synchronized, too, you know?
That's right.
Yeah, I think before that, the last president who could do it is Richard Nixon.
No, that's definitely true.
You know what I want to talk about before we do a story? Do we have time for any more bullshit, Jason?
You didn't introduce me?
Yeah, I did. I said you get to take command of the nuclear weapons program. You want me to do another intro for you? You want another intro because you're my special boy?
I don't.
Are you sure?
That's fine. You're right. Yeah.
I can give you another intro. No, let's do another intro.
Right. No. That's
Are
fine.
you sure?
Okay. All right, let's do it.
All right. People have accused this man of being a CIA asset, one of history's greatest monsters, a war criminal, a drug trafficker, complicit in multiple massacres. But you know what they've never accused him of being? A bad co-host.
Oh, that's sweet.
There you go. Eat it up. Oink, oink, you little piggy.
I could massacre a stack of pancakes at IHOP.
Dude, hold on. Something fell off my chair. Dude, like... Man, that's the thing, is like, I don't think I have a big pancake stack in me anymore. That's really what it is.
No.
It's like, I like a pancake, but I gotta get a short stack now.
Yeah. I think 2 is about my limit.
2, maybe
honestly.
3 if I'm a hungry boy.
I can push 3, yeah.
But I just don't think I have that zest for life in me anymore. When you're a young man and you see a stack of 6 pancakes and the world is your oyster and you chow down on them, chomp, chomp, chomp. And now you ruminate on your past.
It's like a fucking challenge.
Yeah.
You see that stack and you think, yeah, I could do that. I could handle that. And now, I'm too busy sobbing into my coffee.
Yeah, you know what it is like the challenge is not sticking your head in the oven every morning. I don't need to then go to IHOP and have to do another challenge right after that, dude.
That's right.
Here's the other thing I'm going to say, dude. Have you seen this thing?
Please.
It's on the internet. This could 100 men beat a gorilla?
Yes,
100 unarmed men. How do First off, I've talked about a lot of shit on the internet. Like, controversial shit sometimes. I don't think anyone's ever been as mad at me as people have been about this. If you look at my Instagram comments, dude, people are like, first off, you get a bunch of people who are like, you can't speak for men, you're not a real man. And that's because I have a high-pitched voice, so I learned when I post on the internet very early on, people often think I'm transgender, and they, like, whip weird insults based on that at me, which is fine. That's still horse shit. You know what, though?
That's something I wouldn't. But whatever.
But I appreciate the passion because I'm going to defend my opinion.
Now I'm angry on your behalf.
All right, I'm not angry. Yeah. I'm not angry though.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, Jason. I'm right. People immediately they go to like, you couldn't fight a gorilla. No, I couldn't fight a gorilla. Number one, they're endangered. Yeah. Number one, they're endangered. So I wouldn't. Well, yeah, they're majestic, beautiful creatures. Why would I fight a gorilla? Coco the gorilla was a victim of torture. So fuck that. I think that gorillas should inherit the earth. That's the first thing. Number 2, unarmed men, like just 100 unarmed guys. Who's going to be in that first 10? Everyone's like, well, he'd kill the first 10. Okay, you going to be in that first 10? Who's going to be in the first 10?
Right, exactly.
Who's the leader?
I'm aware of this as like a discussion. But what's the scenario? What, like,
the scenario discussed is
is
just
it
100 unarmed men locked in a cage with a gorilla, I think, and they got to fight it out.
like Roman gladiator kind of?
Yeah, I think so.
It's
Like
not.
the
It's not
Colosseum.
like that.
I think
Not like.
people want like. All right, the Colosseum was bad, right?
Yes, for a lot of reasons. Yeah.
Are you saying that to be woke, or are you saying
Architecture.
that because you agree?
What, it was bad?
Yeah.
I think it's.
Are you like virtue
it's
signaling
bad
by
to have
saying it was
people-
bad to have people like torn apart by
yes.
lions?
That's exactly right.
All right.
And that actually happened. Actually, that happened quite a bit less than we realize. If anything, it was the other way around, where it was people massacring lions and other exotic animals.
I guess a lot of them were probably like underfed and scared in there too.
I think that's probably
like it's actually really easy to
certainly
stack the deck against a lion.
Yes, and on top of that, just
and the people had weapons in the Colosseum
to kill each other.
Yes. This is an unarmed scenario, right? But I think what I'm saying about the Colosseum is I do think, like, look, bad that it was there.
Mm-hmm.
I would have watched one. Maybe I would have probably watched several. I would have maybe had a season pass.
Well, there's probably not a whole lot else to do, right? Like in Rome, ancient Rome.
Dude, there's so much to do in ancient Rome. Give blowjobs.
Okay. Vomit, I guess, the vomitorium.
That's not why it was called that. It was called the vomitorium because it looked like the room was vomiting people out, Jason.
That's right.
And that just goes to show that you are not as true student of history as I, who is as educated in the classics, because you didn't take Latin with Magister Williams in my elite New Jersey high school.
No, I took Latin with Sister Mary Alice in a Catholic high school.
Yeah. So all you learned was like Sanctumus Molestus.
In nomine Patre, Filii, Spiritus Sancti, Amen. Yeah, I remember that. No, I'm aware of this like as a discussion, but I just don't see how because to me it feels like it wasn't that long ago that we were like dicks out for Harambe,
right?
And when we were like celebrating an ape, and now like 100 of us could kill one of these motherfuckers. Like what flipped? Like
right. You know how you could kill a gorilla very slowly through like deforestation and habitat reduction.
That's true. So we've been very good.
We've actually, So I do concede that given the right industrial tools, we could kill a lot of gorillas. But I am right. You just put 100 unarmed guys in a cage with a gorilla. It's not going to work out very well. Because people don't have like a fucking hive mind. Armies do not start spontaneous. I'm actually worked up by how dumb people are about this. I'm worked up not by people being mad at me. I like when people are mad at me. I'm worked up by the fact that people think that like the way armies work is that they saw a gorilla and immediately started like a perfect army formation.
Right. Like they just instinctively knew, well, I guess I'm the first wave.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, yeah. All right. I'm not going to get into it.
We don't need to get into this anymore.
I'm not going to talk about it too much. Right. Think about it too much more because it's dumb.
It's going to take up a lot of time, and we got to get to the news.
No, we got some good stories.
We have some good stories to tell.
Yeah. All right. Our first story here comes to us from MSN.
All right.
By Olivia Liu. Headline: How a former killer for a major crime family became a New Jersey councilman.
Hey.
No, this one's interesting to me. I'll get into it here in a sec, but because I want your take, because you're from like
I'm from Jersey.
East Coast, you're from Jersey, whereas me from like suburban Ohio. The mafia like was not a major. It's not something I ever thought about to the point that I don't really even find like mob movies very interesting.
Right.
Nothing that they're not good. I'm just saying they're objectively well made or whatever. I just have zero interest. Like it just doesn't capture my imagination.
Well, the thing about it is that, like, the mob, I mean, it does still exist, but for, like, decades, like, I mean, really, since the 90s, it's not been what it was. So it's not that it doesn't exist. It's not that, like, a lot of these, like, crimes don't happen, but, like, if, like, people who grew up in New Jersey, even nice parts of New Jersey, like, in the 80s, had a lot more familiarity with the mob just on virtue of, like, knowing affiliated people than somebody in the 2000s. Like, I never, that I know of, encountered anybody who, like, even, like, on the Italian side of my family, but, like, people who were from Staten Island, like, knew people and would, like, sometimes, like, say weird things, but that was the extent of my mob interactions.
No, that's interesting. And again, we'll get to the story because my wife is from Newport, Kentucky, which is like a suburb of Cincinnati. Essentially, it's like right across the Ohio River. And up until the 60s, maybe even a little later, that was a big mob.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, it's pretty close to Cincinnati. It's close to St. Louis, or not St. Louis. Louisville, I mean.
Yeah. So there's definitely not, again, as you say, not so much anymore, but like businesses that were mob affiliated that still exist. But again, I just never captured my imagination.
A lot of those, though, like what happens a lot of the time is just that, like, the business becomes more profitable than the crime. Like,
right.
Like, you know, like, because doing crimes, there's a lot of overhead to keep that quiet, to do all that. Whereas, like, if you have a successful bakery, just do that.
But not nearly the same. Yeah. Well, and I think too, like Newport, I think if I'm remembering right, was I mean, like, you know, smuggling and bootlegging, but gambling. And so as like Vegas became like, you know, people could get there more easily.
Yeah.
It kind of still, you know, even all that distance across the country, took away from Newport. Anywho, Englishtown, New Jersey.
All right.
2 hours into a town hall meeting in this small New Jersey town, man took out his phone, handshaking, and began filming. Quote, "Are you aware that he's committed welfare fraud?" The man asked Englishtown Mayor Daniel Francisco, referring to the borough's newest councilman, John Alite, whose mob past has drawn an unusual amount of attention to the quiet borough east of Princeton.
Well, it's weird to be like, I mean, he's committed murder, it sounds like, based on the headline. So it's weird to lead with welfare fraud.
Right, that seems,
Nothing wrong with a little welfare fraud.
I mean, who amongst us hasn't?
No, I've done 5 welfare frauds since this podcast started.
Yeah. Quote, "He started a new life," a resident shouted back. "We don't want to hear any of this." Another
started a new life.
Right. "Go, go, go," residents chanted. The support for Alite was palpable. Is that how you would pronounce that? Alite, A-L-I-T-E?
Alite, yeah, I think
Alite?
so. I think so.
Yeah, okay, great.
Maybe Alita.
Alita? All right, let's go with Alita. The man who brought up the accusation of welfare fraud, who admitted to working for Alita's former boss, John Gotti Jr., left the room, leaving a packet of handouts on a seat on his way out.
No, just straight to the most famous mobster.
Well, it said he worked for him, right? Yeah, John Gotti. I recognize that name. Like he was kind of the last big one, right? He was one in the 90s.
He was super famous. Yeah, like super famous, and was on TV all the time and everything.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think. I kind of sort of remember like when he got busted, then his trial, and
John Travolta played him in like one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I did not see that because again, I don't care for mob movies.
Yeah, it's the worst one ever made. I think the worst mob movie ever made, I would say, is Gotti starring John Travolta.
Now I kind of do want to watch it. I'm going to skip a little bit because this is long, and we want to keep to the highlights. Alita, by his own admission, is a former mobster who ran with the Gambino crime family, one of the 5 major families who for decades controlled organized crime in New York City. He pleaded guilty to racketeering activity in federal court, which included 2 murders, 4 murder conspiracies, at least 8 shootings, and 2 attempted shootings. So, what the hell's an attempted shooting?
Yeah.
The gun jam? He dropped it?
He was just like handling a stick of butter, and then he puts it down and he goes, whoa!
Like, so shit!
Oh man, I know I shouldn't have gotten peanut butter on my gun barrel again. Actually, I don't want to make too many jokes about this guy.
That's exactly what a Italian mobster would sound like. Huh? Oh gosh, I got butter in my fingers.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gotti.
I done messed it up.
I goofed it up, Mr. Gotti.
He also acknowledged that he was. He also acknowledged that he was part of armed home invasions and robberies in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Florida. Alide said in an interview,
that's legal in Florida,
that the home invasion. I mean, in the 80s, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if it is now. Alita said in an interview that the home invasions and robberies were committed against drug dealers.
Oh, okay. So he's like Omar from The Wire.
Sure. Right. Exactly. In New York.
That's what he should have said. He should have said, "Don't worry, guys. I'm the white Omar."
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah. I'll bet. Yeah. Maybe, I don't think that quote would make the news, but yeah. In New Jersey, disqualification from serving a public office is limited to crimes involving a person's public office or public employment.
I mean, I kind of think that's how it should be. Like, you shouldn't elect a guy who killed people, but I don't think that, like, I don't inherently think that a person being convicted of a crime means they shouldn't be able to hold office. And once you get into, like, drug crimes and stuff, like, I think that's fair.
Sure.
So I agree with that.
Yeah. I don't, yeah. Maybe.
I could just be going through a post-divorce libertarian phase, though. I don't know.
Sure. That could be.
I also believe the will of the market is inherently the will of the people. Thoughts?
Right. People just have an appetite for racketeering and
we love it,
attempted shootings. Yeah. Alide had a reputation for brutality, according to his 2021 book, John Alide, Mafia International.
After he fucked up using the gun that first 2 times, he got really brutal.
Right. He started practicing. Yeah. Well, he switched to machetes.
He got a pair of gloves. He realized he has his one weakness as an assassin was he had very wet hands. So he had to get a pair of gloves, and after that he was unstoppable.
It was his 2021 book, John Alide, Mafia International, which was co-written with Lou Romano. I don't know who that.
That's probably the guy who actually wrote the words in the book based on this guy's drunk texts at 4 a.m.
I get that. Right. It was that reputation and his connection with John Gotti Jr. that drew him into the mob.
I fucking hate this. This is what I fucking hate about. All right. Maybe I am like kind of becoming an old New Jersey guy because it's this fucking like my dad's generation. Like my dad obviously not being a mobster, but like my dad's like that Gen X generation of mobsters that all of them wore their flashy fucking suits and like writes their fucking books and does their fucking podcasts about being in the mob. But this thing of yours, you know, it's not of ours. I'm not in the mob, but this thing of yours works, does it not? Because you shut the fuck up about it sometimes.
Right. Well, yes. And it does seem like it does seem like horseshit that like you're still profiting off of, like, this is a bad guy, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. The
depends on. I mean, I think attempting shooting is complicated.
You think so?
Because he was trying to learn how to use the gun.
We don't know the whole story.
Like, how else do you learn how to use a gun? You got to attempt
Maybe
first.
They had it coming. Yeah.
Michael Jordan says you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and yet we're punishing this guy. Yeah. I think it was Wayne Gretzky, actually.
I think you're right.
Or Michael Jordan. No. Michael Jordan didn't even miss the shots he didn't take because he's the GOAT.
Yeah. Yeah, Gotti was imprisoned. Gotti Jr. was imprisoned in 1992. So,
an innocent man.
I would have been a teenager. Yeah, right.
Arrested just for being Italian.
Yep. I know. They were so discriminated against in the 90s.
For real. Bill Clinton's America.
Yeah, right. 1989 New York Times article placed Elite, then 26, with John Gotti Jr., then 25, at a restaurant in Long Island where they got into a brawl.
Well, that's Long Island, number one. Like, that's what you do in a restaurant there. Number two, what's wrong? Brawling's fine.
I mean, compared to his other shit, sure. I mean, he's fighting another mobster, so what do I care?
We don't have enough good old-fashioned barroom brawls anymore. When's the last time you've been in a bar and seen a fight break out? I've seen people yell at each other and kind of awkwardly almost fight, and like one guy punch a guy and then kind of awkwardly leave.
I don't know that I have ever seen a bar fight.
And isn't that the problem?
Right. That's the problem with men today. That's why they're so soft.
That's why they can't fight a fucking gorilla.
That's right. It's not enough bar brawls. Sorry. Elite would
I forgive you.
Later moved to New Jersey and then Florida, where he was involved with drug trafficking and extortion. As investigations closed in, Elite fled to Brazil in early 2004, according to a St. Petersburg Times article. I'm going to kind of summarize. Like I said, this is kind of long. And we just want to get kind of his background before he spent 10 months in Brazil. FBI tracked him down at an internet cafe.
All right. Don't go there and work on your mafia book.
That's right. Got extradited back to the U.S. 2006. 2008, pled guilty to racketeering, Corrupt Organizations Act conspiracy charge, admitted to 2 murders and shootings. Began to cooperate with prosecutors because that's the kind of stand-up guy he is.
Yeah, he's a good guy, see? He's starting a new life. That's such a funny quote.
2000... Yeah, what?
He started a new life, like it's like a quirky adventure he's going on.
Right. In 2011, Elite was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Some of the 10 years was considered served due to time spent in jails in the U.S. and Brazil. Released in 2012.
Oh. So that's a lot less than 10.
See, that's a whole lot less than 10. And this is, for a guy who is now like on the town council, this is shockingly recent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was my senior year of high school.
Right.
We should actually take a break, so I should refill my water after this story, because I got those Zin hiccups.
Okay. No, I'm trying to speed through it too, because I said there's a lot here that's. So the point being, he moved to Englishtown after his daughter died using fentanyl in 2022. There you go. After his daughter's death, he decided to move to the sleepy town to forge a new life. So here he's forging the life.
Forging a new life.
That's right. In March, Elite was appointed to the town council to fill a vacancy with support from Francisco, the mayor of Englishtown, and other local leaders.
But this is like, all right, like, and let me guess, he's like this. Is he like a law and order Republican bullshit guy? I know there's a lot here, and we could kind of
yes.
So like
yes.
Like the thing about that pisses me off.
I don't know Republican necessarily, but I mean we could probably look it up. Or no, I know he's Republican.
Yeah, so
that's
like
the
presumably
story. Yeah.
with all that, like you were literally part of one of the biggest drug trafficking organizations in the world.
Right.
Certainly in the country.
Exactly.
But, like, in the world.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Obviously, it's horrible that your daughter died. Right?
Right. Yeah.
But for you to then be like, oh, like, I've realized fentanyl is so horrible, and, like, these drug dealers are the scourge of the earth, and I'm going to, like, be like Mr. Law and Order, whatever. Like, this problem wouldn't... You played a role in this problem existing in the way that it does. Not as big of a role as, like, the pharmaceutical companies played, but you played a meaningful role. I do have Zin hiccups, so I apologize to our audience.
No.
You played a meaningful role.
Yeah.
In this.
No. The whole thing's like bullshit. Like I said, he's sentenced 10 years, served a year.
Yeah.
And this was 12 years ago, 13 years ago, and like gets appointed to city council. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, right. As a law and an anti-drug Republican.
No, it's fucking it's bullshit.
Out of here. That story does have me kind of pissed off.
No, for real.
Surprisingly. And looking at pictures of him, he has big RFK Jr. vibes.
Yeah.
Like he still totally looks like a mobster.
Oh yeah.
Like whatever.
Right. Yeah. There you
go. All right. Okay. Next story. Getting back to our roots with this one.
All right, let's go. Enough political talk.
Yeah. I was going to say, for some reason, since about late January, it's been hard. The media just hasn't been covering, like, the paranormal and cryptids.
No, they've been, like, concerned about, like, everything costing a lot all of a sudden. And
yeah, really got bumped out of the news. But
you know what the funny thing is, though, is, like I do stand up. I'm out in the comedy circuit, and you will run into like these like MAGA comedians at mostly at open mics, sometimes at shows, but usually open mics. And they'll go up there and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm a Republican. I voted for Trump." Blah 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 blah. And increasingly, it's like it started out like before the election and shortly after, like like either like defending it or like some like culture war grievance to be like, "Are you guys fucking triggered?" Because people like that, like people who do that, like playing the heel. For the same reason that, like, I wouldn't go to a club in Mississippi and do jokes about how liberal I am and how much I like sucking dick. Like, it's not the audience, right? Like,
right.
But like, as the administration has gone on and just everything is a total fucking disaster, they're still going up and being like, "I voted Republican," but they kind of don't have a follow up anymore. So they just kind of go up and go like, "Yeah, I'm a Republican." Next joke.
Yeah. Why even bring it up then, I wonder?
Because they get it. The thing about the right wing, like what I've noticed about, I mean, there's a differentiation, right, between like comedians who are conservative and comedians who are Republican. And most political comedy, in my opinion, sucks. But like comedians who are conservative and comedians who are Republican versus like a conservative or a Republican comic, right? Those are not the same thing. And right, like in the sense of like, if a comedian has certain political views and you don't necessarily know them, or they might appeal to that crowd, but not in ways that are super direct, like a guy like a guy like Sebastian Maniscalco is like not like I've watched a lot of his comedy. It's funny. And I don't know what his personal political beliefs are necessarily, but like he definitely can appeals to that sort of audience, right? Not through anything he's saying that's particularly offensive, but through like his self-image and self-presentation, right? Conservatives feel more comfortable watching him. Same with like like Jeff Foxworthy was like the classic example of this, right?
No, you're right. Yeah, Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, that sort of a thing. Versus like people who go up there, like Jim Brewer, who just kind of go up there and do their culture war grievance, or like Roseanne now, right?
Right.
And the differences are number one is like when you're doing it at a conservative club, like what the whole Austin scene has become or whatever. It's clapter, right? It's the same reason why I don't do political comedy in New York, like in, for most audiences where I know The View or really anywhere at all, because like, it's just people who want to hear someone get up on stage and agree with them in a kind of witty way.
Validate them.
Yeah, and quality doesn't matter.
Right, I get that.
But the second group are like people who really like kind of playing the heel and getting that heat. Because if you don't necessarily have the ability to have like a great opening line, Just being like, I'm a Republican, and then the room is invested in what you're saying, like, does get the attention of the room. Even if they don't like it. And you can do something with that.
Sure.
So, I get it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. That makes sense.
Anyway, let's move on to a Bigfoot story.
That's right. This comes to us from unexplainedmysteries.com.
Well, let's explain this shit.
By TK Randall.
TK Randall.
Man recalls being followed by Bigfoot-like creature in Pennsylvania.
Just say Bigfoot. Just say, we've been over this. A Bigfoot is it encompasses a variety of creatures.
Yeah.
Unless it was John Fetterman.
A raccoon. That could be. Let's find out together. A raccoon hunter got more than he bargained for.
I'm sorry.
Ventured into remote.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Can we rewind?
Yes, please.
A raccoon hunter?
Raccoon hunter?
Is that a job?
Tripping? Yeah.
Number one, don't you trap them?
I am as surprised as you are.
Do you eat them? Is it just for furs? Are people still wearing coonskin caps?
That's the only thing I can think of. I can't imagine a raccoon is good eating. Like maybe if you're...
I'm going to Google the salary. Raccoon hunter salary.
Like maybe if it was like the height of the Great Depression in Appalachia, you might eat a raccoon, but...
Some raccoon hunters make six figures, but it's mostly winnings,
shit.
And I think it's for like... Some are part-time enthusiasts, others earn substantial incomes, especially with top-quality hounds, experience, and a focus on competitive hunting.
Yeah, it does. I don't believe this was like competitive, and it doesn't say anything about dogs.
So this guy's just raw dogging
hunting raccoons. He's just
Don't do that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine like what do they... What do you even use raccoon pelts for?
I get hunting deer because you kill a deer and that's food for like a year or like at least the winter, right?
Right, and it's decent.
Venison's good.
How much? Venison's pretty solid. Raccoon, I just cannot imagine.
But it is a job.
It's got to be gamey as fuck.
If you're a raccoon hunter, let us know in the comments how's work.
Yeah, how's it going? How do you do it? What's some techniques?
Are you having
How would
fun?
I get into it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of raccoons and guns. Is that going to be a problem? And also traps.
That might be what are you going to use? Like a slingshot, a sling?
I'm just gonna tell them to go away.
Well, it's not really hunting them then. That's just shooing them off.
Yeah, I can be a raccoon shooer.
There you go.
Somebody get the stick.
Google how much that makes. The terrifying incident.
Salary for yelling, go on, get. Let me see.
What do we got?
There's no answer to that. I couldn't get the Google AI to give me an answer.
It's fucking horse shit. Oh, well, there's your problem.
Yeah, it actually only gave me real results for that. The raccoon hunter search, it gave me like the AI result.
Yeah. All right. The terrifying incident, which was later reported to the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, which I believe we've come up a few times on the show.
They have.
It took place over multiple days, beginning on February 1st, when he had traveled to the west end of Game Lands 333 in Pennsylvania's Center County to hunt for raccoons.
All right. You just go to a trash can.
According to the man's story. Right. Yeah, that seems like maybe that's how you trap them.
Just leave out your trash with a gun.
You put out trash cans with like old tin cans and like fish skeletons in it and shit, and the raccoons come running. According to the man's story, on this occasion he had parked his truck at the head of Spring Creek Canyon Trail and had hiked into the woods so that he could set up his equipment. Maybe it is traps then.
Yeah, I think so.
Equipment is it's pretty vague.
Yeah. I don't think he needs a mount for his raccoon gun.
I don't know.
Wouldn't it be funny though if he just went out there?
Right.
Just dead raccoons flying out of trees.
Right. Maybe that's all he was doing. That's his form of relaxation.
Then he stops for a second. You just get one more dead raccoon.
Right. No, there's one. The gun's empty, and there's still one raccoon. And he pulls out like a pistol and turns his back and shoots over his shoulder. The raccoons fall from the tree. Man, oh, this sounds like sounds like the makings of a decent like Netflix series, The Raccoon Hunter.
It's very one-sided.
Where was I at? Oh, things took a rather unusual turn, however, when he became overwhelmed with the uneasy feeling of being watched and could hear strange sounds coming from the direction of a creek nearby.
All right.
It's probably the raccoons pissed off.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was my dad.
You son of a bitch, I'll get you for this.
Who's going to provide for our family now?
Right. Who's going to feed all these pups? I think that's a baby raccoon.
Yeah. Pup. Might as well be.
Sure, we'll go with that. Upon packing up with the intention of returning to his vehicle, he shone his light in the direction of the creek and caught sight of a strange, humanoid-shaped silhouette which disappeared after a brief moment. He didn't think much of it at the time, but things would get a lot worse on his next trip. I hope this guy isn't using, because it mentions like equipment and using his light. I hope this guy isn't like, oh, what do they call that?
Shining like a fucking floodlight.
Right, because that's illegal. You can't hunt deer doing that because they'll freeze.
Yeah, makes it
in
easier.
The light. So
you can't.
Yeah, if this
you can't use a cheat code. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
It's kind of bullshit.
Well, I guess I imagine if you're a raccoon, you would feel differently.
Well, I'm not. In spite of what many have said about me.
Fair enough. On February 19th, he returned again. Only this time, he quickly found himself being followed by someone or something that was shadowing his movements. At one point, while walking along the trail, he heard a loud knock against a tree nearby, followed by the sound of something slowly but surely moving through the foliage next to him as he walked along. Then, after scanning the immediate vicinity with his spotlight, yeah, this guy seems like a piece of shit.
Oh, no. He was being hunted by a Bigfoot. Give him some grace.
Or maybe it was like 3 raccoons in a trench coat.
Maybe this Bigfoot was like a friend of the raccoons, you know?
Any Bigfoot almost certainly would be a friend of the raccoons.
Because they're normally pretty chill.
Raccoons are cool as shit.
Yeah, I'm talking about Bigfoots.
Oh, Bigfoots, yeah. His beam caught the face of a large creature. He described it as resembling the face of King Kong from the most recent movie, which is 20 years ago.
No, there have been a series of new King Kongs since then.
No.
You wanna fucking come on this podcast and spread misinformation about the number of King Kong films to destabilize this country as part of a CIA plot? Is that what you're doing?
Right.
You're like Bigfoot's not real because
I'm King Kong gaslighting.
You're King Kong.
No, the Peter Jackson one was the last
one. No. What are we talking about? Skull Island?
Right. Oh yeah, Skull Island. That one was.
I don't like any of the new King Kongs.
Peter Jackson one's okay.
Peter Jackson one's great.
I have not. The Peter Jackson one's really good. Skull Island was so. I have not seen any of the
Godzilla versus Kong was
like
fine.
Where he fights Godzilla and shit. Yeah. You'd think I'd be more into that, but
you'd think.
Yeah, you'd be wrong. How many do you think 100 Godzillas could take a King Kong?
Well, King Kong is significantly smaller than Godzilla. They fucked up Godzilla versus Kong by making them the same size. You're supposed to root for King Kong because Godzilla is supposed to be absolutely fucking massive. Godzilla towers over skyscrapers. King Kong climbs skyscrapers.
Climbs.
So
right.
that is 100 Godzillas. It
Bullshit.
would be a fucking massacre, Jason. What you're proposing, it would be a goddamn fucking. It would be a goddamn fucking bloodbath. Well, I guess not bloodbath. It's only one King Kong. Like it's still a lot of blood in a King Kong. They would be. That's fucking disgusting animal cruelty. You're worse than this guy shining floodlights and launching a literal fucking nuke into the woods to kill raccoons.
That's right. For no reason. Okay, so resembling the face of King Kong from the most recent movie, but with a nose that was sharper and not as flared. Its skin was gray with wispy light gray hair, and it had a pronounced brow ridge like an ape, with a non-human jaw that was roundish and blocky.
Man.
He estimated that the creature stood 7 feet tall and was extremely muscular.
That's not King Kong size either. That's way too small. 7 feet tall, extremely muscular, blocky face.
Yeah.
Not a lot of detail.
The entire encounter lasted mere seconds, with the creature quickly retreating back into the darkness. Terrified, the man managed to make it back to his truck without further incident. Exactly what it was he encountered that night, however, remains a total mystery.
You think it's a Bigfoot?
I kind of hope so. If this guy's out there slaughtering raccoons, I'd be okay if a Bigfoot. Bigfoot just spooked him off, but I'd be okay if Bigfoot maybe kicked the shit out of him a little bit first.
Yeah, I think that a pro raccoon Bigfoot is not a bad thing.
No. And I would think any sapient forest dwelling creature, like I said, you'd have to be friends with raccoons.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you could be neutral. Not everything in the forest gets along, Jason. It's a cruel world out there, little boy.
I don't know, but raccoons are so cool.
They're a little gross.
Little hands washing shit.
Raccoons actually freak me out. Like, I do not like raccoons, but
yeah, they can. Yeah, I mean, I guess Like I'll leave it.
Like, don't kill them, but I'm not.
No,
don't put them near me.
Okay, yeah, it's noted. Andrew says no to raccoons.
Don't send me a raccoon.
Could take a raccoon. Could 100 raccoons take an Andrew?
100%. I'd run away from one raccoon. I would, if a raccoon came into my apartment, I would move.
No.
I'd be homeless.
Lee. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. They can be scary. They're big.
Hiss.
All right. Yeah, and a lot of sharpness. They got sharp teeth,
sharp claws. They even got a sharp face, dude.
Right. There's a lot of ways they can hurt you.
Yeah. And yeah, got rabies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. And with the little hands, they could probably work a gun if they could get a hold of one.
Yeah.
They could certainly use a knife if they found one.
Yeah, if you had a small enough gun, they could 100%. They wouldn't no attempted shooting.
Right. They ain't got butter on those fingers. They're washing their hands all the time. All right, ready for the last story?
I am.
This is comes to us from 12 News.
All right.
12 News by Kira O'Connor and Chase Golightly.
Well,
headline.
Go hard for me, Chase.
Yeah, no, he's going lightly.
Man, he knows how to tease you.
Headline: A bar in Tempe is at the center of one of the largest underage drinking busts Tempe police has ever seen. Then they posted this. The Tempe Tavern posted a photo of the t-shirt, which said, quote, "Our 9/11" and hashtag Tavern Strong on them the day after over 100 people were cited for underage drinking. Oh, man. Tempe, Arizona. A bar in Tempe was the site of a major underage drinking bust that saw nearly 200 people cited earlier this month, coming under fire after a social media post appears to have compared the incident to the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks.
So you assume that just because they said our 9/11, they're comparing it to 9/11.
Oh, right. They just said 9/11. They did not say.
They didn't specify a year. They didn't even
right.
And even if they specified a year, they didn't. A lot of other things happened that day that we don't talk about. Sure. Mariah Carey had an album out.
Okay.
I think a movie or something.
I think there was a movie.
A lot of albums came out that day, actually.
I'm sure there was a concert somewhere.
Jay-Z's The Blueprint came out that day.
I'm sure someone's loved one died somewhere, and it wasn't 9/11 related.
True, yeah.
I mean, except the terrorist attack related.
Yeah, it was still 9/11 related,
That's right. Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah. In a now deleted Facebook post, Tempe Tavern posted a photo of a black t-shirt with the words Tavern Strong on one side and our 9/11 over an image of the American flag.
Don't delete the post. You still got to sell the shirts.
Oh, and looking at it, it's the hashtag Tavern Strong. It's I'm not like a font expert, but this is approaching Comic Sans.
Well,
like this is not a serious, like this is a very difficult a font I would not associate with a tragedy.
Makes sense.
The post itself was captioned, quote, "They hit the second tower. Hashtag available next week for purchase."
Oh my God.
Oh, Tempe Tavern posted the picture of the t-shirts on April 25th, the day after the underage drinking bust. On Wednesday, 12 News spoke with an employee at the tavern about the post, who said that they knew about the shirts, but did not know when or if they would actually go on sale.
Oh my God.
ASU students defended the bar and told 12 News that it's a college town and students are going to have fun.
That's a fair point.
However, when they saw the shirt,
someone's got to be the underage drinking bar in a college town. The local economy depends on a bar that serves minors.
Sure. I think, yeah. But
someone's got to do it.
T-shirt.
Someone's got to do it.
The 9/11 shirt. However, when they saw the t-shirt, they believe the bar took the situation too far. Quote, "I just think it's offensive, especially since I'm from the East Coast. I'm from New Jersey. I know a lot of people who were in 9/11, said senior Christopher Robinson.
Not
how old could he have
been? You know parents. So he wouldn't have been born on 9/11 because he'd be 22, right. 23, so he'd be born in 02, 03, unless he's like a older or non-traditional student or whatever. But
right.
I mean, like, people older than you. You wouldn't know anybody who died in 9/11, obviously, because you can't know someone who died.
Of people.
You would know of people who died in 9/11, and you would know 9/11 survivors.
That makes sense. Quote, "I mean, I would say that's overdoing it," said Ethan Kinsel, a freshman.
It's overdoing it.
Okay, Ethan has no business. Freshman, he has no business being there.
Yeah. You shouldn't be able to get into the bar freshman year. You got to wait until sophomore year. I think the problem is you should need a fake, but it shouldn't have to be good. That's kind of where I stand.
Well, let's see. Tempe Tavern was recently at the center of what Lieutenant Louis Samudio with the State Liquor Department and Tempe Police both said is one of the largest underage drinking busts both departments have ever seen. Police had reportedly received complaints of underage individuals getting inside the licensed business. During the investigation, authorities identified several underage patrons, many of whom allegedly possessed a fake ID.
All right. Again,
Okay, here, all right. A total of 173 individuals were detained, and 165 of them received citations.
Well, no one's
people were
talking
taken
about
to
the
the
8
city
innocent
jail.
people. No one's talking about the 8 innocent people, Jason.
That is a shit ton of underage. That's not like.
What about the
That's not
8
even like
22-year-olds?
like. That's got to be everyone at the fucking bar, right? Like.
No, because
they went in and cleaned house, and there
were 8 innocent people.
left.
There were 8 innocent people,
Well,
Jason.
they
were
got
cited.
taken to jail.
That's excessive.
Oh, 8. Oh, I see. Yes, they were detained. Right, and then I got you.
Because they didn't
so
do
there were
it.
8 people.
Innocent.
There were 8 people who were got swept up.
Yeah. And I would argue that if you're seeing a lot of fake IDs, then at a point it's easier because, you're not seeing that many real ones, so you can't even blame them.
A spokesperson for the Tempe Police Department said those 8 suspects, the 8 who were taken to the jail, received additional charges beyond minor in consumption and fraudulent ID.
You know what I have to say about that? Oink oink, you fucking piggies! Arrest me for that, because I'm never going to Tempe, Arizona. It's not even my favorite vegetarian protein.
No.
I'm a tofu guy.
Well, tofu's okay. Police are continuing to investigate whether any violations should be filed against the establishment for allegedly not following the state's liquor laws. Samudio said fake IDs can be very convincing, and bars may not have the time or technology to verify an ID. Still, how the situation was handled by workers at Tempe Tavern will be part of the investigation. Dude, 165 people? Come
they
on.
Had fakes, though.
If anything, that trains you to,
That's what I'm saying.
Like a class in how to spot a fake ID wouldn't have 165.
I guess being cool is a crime, is what you're saying. Being a cool bar is illegal now in Trump's America. Is that?
Hang on, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna look this. We're wrapping it up here, but I'm gonna. You can go ahead and start closing it out if you want. I'm gonna look up.
If you're.
Oh, it's 4.5. 4.5 stars on TripAdvisor.
Yeah, and they probably have good food.
3.4 out of Yelp.
They're at taverns. They probably have food. Taverns have food.
Oh, yeah, they do have, it shows nachos and chicken fingers.
Yeah. You could get drunk and have chicken fingers, so they're eating too. There's nothing wrong with this. They didn't do anything wrong. Sell the shirts. Free them. Start a bail fund.
I don't see anything about selling the shirts, but
I would not. I would not buy an R911 shirt and wear it in New York City.
No. Oh no. I wouldn't wear one in Denver.
You wear one in Denver.
Bit of a red flag under health score on their Yelp page, not participating. So
you can do that.
What
do you mean? Oh, in the Yelp version, not in the No, I think. All right, no, that's not public health. That's healthy food score.
Is it?
I think so. The Yelp health score, yeah. I don't think that's their food department rating.
Oh, okay. Health department.
Yeah, you can't deny a health inspect. You can't just be nah, we don't do that here. Even in Arizona.
Oh no, right. No, I figured that. I just assumed they just chose not to share it. No, we're fine.
No, I think that means is the food healthy? And it's a bar that serves minors, so probably not.
You know what I'm thinking? Next time if we take the show on the road, maybe there's our first stop.
We should do it, dude. I would not. I won't.
No,
wear the shirts. Yeah. We're not wearing the shirts.
No.
I'll buy a shirt.
Well,
but I won't be photographed with the shirt.
I don't know.
I probably shouldn't buy a shirt either, because at some point I will be photographed with that shirt. At some point, laundry day.
Right.
It's an accident waiting to happen. But anyway, let's close out. Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been Underworld News tonight. We are still living in a world without a pope. And so in this time, let us be your leaders of the Catholic Church. Follow me on Instagram, Andrew Michaels Comedy. Follow me on TikTok, Andrew Michaels Comedy. Follow me on YouTube, Andrew Michaels Comedy. And follow the show, Underworld News Tonight, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Blue Sky, wherever you get your podcast. Jason, where can people follow you?
Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Jason V. Strong.
Jason V. Strong.
Yeah.
You know, Jason, there are a lot of topics that we haven't even gotten into. Like, what's your favorite salad dressing? We don't even have time. We don't even have the time to talk about it.
It's going to be a mystery.
We're going to have to wait at least 2 weeks. But, we're not going to be here for a week, so we got to leave him on something strong. We got to leave him on something.
Okay.
It means a lot.
I don't know. I mean, if you're looking for a place to drink and get a plate of nachos in Tempe, Arizona, I think we might have given you a recommendation.
If they're not closed down, and if they are, I do want to dedicate something to help the people of Tempe through these hard times, if I may.
Okay.
I think that
please.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Below us only sky. Below us? Did I say that? Fuck. I've ruined it. You guys don't get any goddamn... You guys don't deserve it. Bye.
Yep. Watch out for raccoons.